نبدأ بالسؤال الأول في النموذج الثاني لامتحان الوزارة. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C or D. Sentence number 1. Generally speaking, I space film reviews because I like to be open-minded when I go to the cinema. Generally speaking, I space film reviews because I like to be open-minded when I go to the cinema. Choices: A. I'm not reading. B. Don't read. C. Haven't read. D. Haven't been reading. The correct answer is don't read. And generally speaking هنا بتعبر عن present simple tense. So the correct answer is don't read. Sentence number 2. معانا تليفون.
ايوه.
اهلا وسهلا. ازيك يا أمي؟
الحمد لله.
تمام؟
الحمد لله.
طيب معاكي أسئلة ولا تكملي معانا الامتحان بتاع الوزارة البوكليت 2؟
انا عندي اسئله في الامتحان ده.
في الامتحان نفسه. طب خليكي معانا واحنا ماشيين كده جملة جملة، يبقى ساعات ما نقف عند الجملة تقولي خدنا كذا ليه أو نتناقش فيها.
اوكي
ماشي واحنا ماشيين كده.
ماشي.
تمام؟ معايا كده في الجملة الأولى
انا مع حضرتك.
خدنا don't read. choice B. تمام؟
تمام.
Sentence number 2. I think you space your energy by sweeping up those leaves. Stop it. The wind will blow more down. I think you space your energy by sweeping up those leaves. Stop it. The wind will blow more down. Choices: A. Wasted. B. Waste. C. Are wasting. D. We're wasting. Are wasting. لما بيقولوا stop it معنى كده ان الايه الحدث مستمر، فبنستخدم present continuous. تمام؟ Sentence number 3. Before you mentioned about him, I space of that novelist. Choices: A. Hadn't ever heard. B. Wasn't hearing. C. Haven't ever heard. D. Don't ever hear. Hadn't ever heard. Yes. Before plus past simple, then followed past perfect. تمام. Sentence number 4. I space my books in the class. Could you go and fetch them for me? I space my books in the class. Could you go and fetch them for me? Choices: A. Had left. B. Am leaving. C. Have left. D. Was leaving. Have left. Yes, the correct answer is have left. Present perfect. Sentence number 5. It's more than 20 years. Space. The writer wrote a short story. It's more than 20 years. Space. The writer wrote a short story. Choices: A. On. B. Since. C. For. D. While. Since. Yes. ممكن since تسبق ب present simple مع التركيبات الزمنية. It's years, it's a long time, it's ages and so on. It's 2 years, then followed by past simple. Number 6. I don't think the film is worth space. A. Seeing. B. To see. C. To have been seen. D. To be seen. I don't think the film is worth. التركيب is worth يمنى followed by gerund. يستحق أو مساوي. كلمة worth في حد ذاتها تعتبر adjective معناها مساوي، ما تعتبرش verb، عشان كده بيجي قبلها جزء من verb to be، فبنقول is worth. لكن كلمة worth في حد ذاتها تعتبر adjective ما تعتبرش verb. تمام؟ فبيأتي قبلها جزء من verb to be. So I don't think the film is worth seeing. تمام؟ حتى ما أعتقدش إن الفيلم يستحق المشاهدة. is worth من التركيبات اللي بتتبع بverb plus ing. Number 7. Space his unexpected death. He would have been the world wrestling champion several times. Space his unexpected death. He would have been the world wrestling champion several times. Champion يعني بطل. Yes. Choices. A. If it weren't for. B. But for. C. If. D. Unless.
But for.
Yes. But for. But for followed by noun or gerund. But for his unexpected death. Sentence number 8. Can I talk to the man space on the bench near you? Can I talk to the man space on the bench near you? Choices. A. Is sitting. B. Whom sits. C. Who sitting. D. Sitting.
Sitting.
Can I talk to the man sitting? Yes. Letter D is the correct answer. تمام؟ كان أصل الجملة who is sitting. وقلنا في درس كلمات الوصل relative pronouns لما يكون الجملة active ممكن نحذف كلمة الوصل وجزء من verb to be ونستخدم الverb plus ing. تمام؟ Sentence number 9. There has been a decrease in the number of applications since the report on environmental pollution space in the newspaper. There has been a decrease in the number of applications since the report on environmental pollution space in the newspaper. Choices. A. Was a beard. B. Has a beard. C. A beard. D. Has been a beard. A beard. Yes. التقرير هو اللي ظهر. Sentence number 10. Neither my parents nor my brother space football. Neither my parents nor my brother space football. Choices. A. Like. B. Are liked. C. Likes. D. Is liked.
Like.
Letter C. Likes is the correct answer. Yes. لأن قلنا الفعل بعد neither nor يتبع الفاعل الذي يأتي بعد nor. فهنا فاعل بعد nor my brother singular. So the correct answer is likes. والجملة active. Number 11. Only half of the exercise have been done so far. So far من يعني حتى الآن من الكلمات اللي بتستخدم مع present perfect. But the rest by Saturday. But the rest space by Saturday. Choices. A. Will be finished. B. Are going to be finished. C. Will have been finished. D. Will be finishing.
Will have been finished.
تمام. علشان by Saturday قلنا مع الكلمات by و plus a period of time زي by وفترة من الوقت أو in plus a period of time in وفترة من الوقت و this time plus a period of time بنستخدم present بنستخدم future perfect. الفورم تكوين will have plus past participle بس هنا الجملة passive بيتكون من will have been plus past participle. So the correct answer as you said will have been finished. Sentence number 12. On your first day in a new job, you should make a good space. On your first day in a new job, you should make a good space. Choices. A. Impression. B. Depression. C. Tradition. D. Expression. Impression. Make a good impression يعمل انطباع طيب yes. Sentence number 13. There is no doubt that Sarah's space for the job. She is very efficient. There is no doubt that Sarah's space for the job. She is very efficient. Efficient بمعنى كفء. Choices: A. Suitable, B. Suit, C. Suitability, D. Suiting. Suitable. There is no doubt that Sarah is suitable for the job. Yes, is suitable for the job. تمام؟ مناسبة للوظيفة. Sentence number 14. We got space wet in the rainstorm. We got space wet in the rainstorm. A. Soaked, B. Soaking, C. Soak, D. To soak. We got soaking يعني كأننا انغمسنا واتبلينا في المياه. We got soaking wet. تمام؟
يعني على طول يجي بعدها
Yes. هنا التركيب على بعضه adjective. We got soaking wet. تمام؟ 15. I have sent him an email. I expect him to send me a check soon. A. Yet, B. Ever, C. Already, D. Recently. I have space sent him an email. I expect him هنا present ايه؟ perfect. تمام؟ وعندنا have و sent. طيب هي لو كانت already ALREADY كان ممكن. تمام؟ لكن هنا all بعدين كلمة لوحدها وبعدين كلمة ready بمعنى الكل مستعد هنا مش معناها بالفعل. فالكلمة المناسبة recently مؤخرا. ايوه انا سامعك يا امنا برافو عليك. تمام. 16. A publisher is a person or company that produces books, magazines, etc. and makes them space for people to buy. Choices: A. Available, B. Availableness, C. Unavailable, D. Availability. Available and makes them available يجعلهم متاح. Yes, for people to buy. Sentence number 17. He space a headache when he works on the laptop for long. He space a headache when he works on the laptop for long. Choices: A. Gets, B. Makes, C. Works, D. Gives. He gives a headache. Gets, yes. The correct answer is A. Gets a headache. He gets a headache when he works on the laptop for long. 18. Traveling presents new and exciting experiences which I may not space. A. Count, B. Counter, C. Encounter, D. Account. كلمة encounter يا أمنا اللي هي C بمعنى يقابل أو يواجه. Traveling presents new and exciting experiences which I may not encounter. ربما ألاقي أقابلها. تمام؟ Letter C. Sentence number 19. Reading literature helps us to become more tolerant. Tolerant يعني متسامح and towards and space towards others. Reading literature helps us to become more tolerant and space towards others. Choices: A. Impact, B. Empathic, C. Enthusiast, D. Interact. خدت ايه يا أمنا؟ Empathic اللي هي letter B بمعنى متعاطف and it's the best choice. yes, and empathic towards others. ومتعاطف تجاه الآخرين. تمام؟ Sentence number 20. Some storms are very unusual and may space terrible damage. Some storms are very unusual and may space terrible damage. damage بمعنى ضرر أو خسارة. تمام. Choices: A. Result. B. Reason. C. Cause. D. Effect. Cause, yes, and may cause terrible damage. وقد تسبب ضررا كبيرا.
Very good يومنا.
برافو عليك يا Sentence number 21. I enjoy space moments I spend with you. I enjoy space moments I spend with you. Choices: A. Each. B. Each of. C. All. D. Every of. All moments. تمام. قلنا all ممكن تتبع ب أو countable noun. تمام. يأتي بعدها اسم جمع بالاسم الجمع الطبيعي للcountable nouns. أما لو كان ممكن يأتي والفعل بعدها يكون في صيغة الجمع. يعني ممكن أقول all students are, all pupils are, all boys are, and so on. يبقى all ممكن يأتي بعدها countable nouns جمع والverb يكون في صيغة الجمع. أما لو أتى بعدها uncountable noun الفعل يكون في صيغة المفرد. تمام؟ Let's go to sentence number 22. After the company closed, she began to work space. Choices: A. Finance. B. Freelance. C. Assistance. D. Freedom. Freelance بمعنى حر. تمام. Sentence number 23. He took space management in an attempt to improve conditions for the workers. He took space management in an attempt to improve conditions. Improve conditions يعني يحسن ليه الظروف. Yes, for the workers. Choices: A. Off. B. Out. C. To. D. On. Took on. تمام. قلنا take on بمعنى يتولى أو يضلع بالمسؤولية. Sentence number 24. There are times when you can't work space to live comfortably. There are times when you can't work space to live comfortably. Choices: A. Enough hard. B. Hard enough. C. Hardly enough. D. Too hard.
Hard enough.
Hard enough, yes. There are times when you can't work hard enough to live comfortably. Let's go to sentence 25. Parents should spend some space of time with their children every day. Parents should spend some space of time with their children every day. Choices: A. Quality. B. Quantity. C. Quality. D. Qualification.
Quantity.
Quantity. Letter B. Yes. Quantity of time. 26. Adham was angry because he spaced to his friend's party. Adham was angry because he spaced to his friend's party. A. Didn't invite. B. Hasn't invited. C. Wasn't invited. D. Hadn't invited.
Wasn't invited.
Wasn't invited. جملة باسف لم يدعى. Yes. 27. Having space coldly, he got upset. Having space coldly, he got upset. Upset بمعنى محبط. Yes. To being met. Choices: A. To being met. B. Being met. C. Met. D been met.
being met.
been met برافو عليك يا ولد. having been met. أصل الجملة دي كان أصلها after he had been met coldly، و having حلت محل after، والجملة باسف فنستخدم been plus الباست participle. تمام؟
تمام.
They were space close to winning that everyone felt disappointed with the loss. They were space close to winning that everyone felt disappointed with the loss. Choices: A. So. B. Such. C. Enough. D. Too. So close to winning that. Yes. Let's go to sentence number 29. The book space had many pictures. The book space had many pictures. Choices: A. I gave you. B. That I gave you it. C. That I gave it to you. D. Which gave you.
I give you.
I gave you. كان أصلها which I gave you. Yes. وهنا ممكن نحذف كلمة الوصل. تمام. The book I gave you had many pictures. Sentence 30. The last sentence. She missed the space, so she couldn't apply for the job. She missed the space, so she couldn't apply for the job. A. Offline. B. Online. C. Headline. D. Deadline. Deadline بمعنى الموعد النهائي. Yes, she missed the deadline, so she couldn't apply for the job. احنا نبدأ مع بعض كده practice test 2A. كناش بدأنا فيه المرة اللي فاتت طبعا، صح؟ Let's begin with the practice test 2A. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C, or D. Tanta is the city space my grandparents were born. Choices: A. Which. B. Where. C. Who. D. When. Where. معايا فتحة معايا الورك بوك؟ Yes. Number 2. My mother really space it when my sisters and I cooked dinner for her. Choices: A. Apologized. B. Appreciated. C. Appealed. D. Thanked. Appreciated. Yes, my mother really appreciated. بمعنى يقدر أو يحترم. Sentence number 3. This is the book space my favorite character goes to the Arctic. Choices: A. Which. B. That. C. In which. D. To which. In which. Yes. Sentence number 4. Mr. Shabana has an important space in the government. Choices: A. Role. B. Role. C. Rule. D. Route. Role. A. Yes. بمعنى دور. 5. Omar, space mother is a scientist, always does well in the science tests. Choices: A. Whose. B. Who. C. Who is. D. For whom. whose اللي هي الملكية الأولى. تمام. 6. The army captain is in space of 50 soldiers today. Choices: A. Charge. B. Change. C. Corps. D. Care. In charge of مسؤول عن.
مستر ممكن الشارج لسه ماضي ولا هي مصطلح على بعضه؟
يعني تيجي في الباست؟ ما لا، ما خلي بالك، لا قبلها is in charge of. فلما هجيب الباست هقول was in charge of.
لكن هي مش هتتغير.
لا هي ما تتغيرش. in charge of مسؤول عن.
تمام.
تمام. لكن هحط verb to be هو اللي يبقى باست. was aware in charge of كذا. تمام. Lena has 2 brothers but they are not good at basketball because space tall. Either is or each are or neither is or neither are. neither are ولا is تاني يا عم. Lena has 2 brothers but they are not good at basketball. They are not good at basketball because neither is tall. مفيش حد فيهم ايه؟ طويل.
طب هما دلوقتي جامعة ليه ما خدناش
لا ما هنا انا بتكلم على كل واحد فيهم، مفيش حد فيهم طويل. تمام؟ لو استخدمت neither نور الفعل يتبع الفاعل اللي بعد نور. لكن neither لوحدها او neither of them مفيش نور بقى هنا. الفعل دائما مفرد يوم. افتكرتيها دي ولا لا؟
افتكرتها.
يبقى الإجابة الصح neither is. كأن neither of them is tall. يبقى neither of them الفعل دائما ايه؟ مفرد. لكن neither نور الفعل يتبع الفاعل الثاني اللي بعد نور. Sentence number 8. I don't think that tree is space anymore. All its leaves are brown. Choices: A. Live, B. Life, C. Alive, D. Alone. Alive بمعنى على قيد الحياة. تمام. 9. There was a fire in the toy shop and space toy was damaged. A. Both, B. All, C. Every, D. Half. Every toy was damaged. Number 10. Ali said that he would be here at midday and here he is. He never space a promise. A. Takes, B. Breaks, C. Makes, D. Keeps. Breaks a promise. هنا break a promise يعني يخلف الوعد. تمام. Sentence number 11. It is space big car that all the family can travel in it. A. So, B. Such, C. Enough, D. such a big car that. تمام. Such plus a or an plus adjective plus noun plus that plus sentence. Number 12. We walked a really long way to get to the shop, but it was in space. It had already closed. A. Veil, B. Vein, C. Vein, D. View. In vain. بلا جدوى. تمام. letter C. in vain دون فائدة أو دون جدوى. 13. Ahmad thinks that it is space hot to play tennis in the park today. Ahmad thinks that it is space hot to play tennis in the park today. A. So, B. Such, C. Enough, D. Too. Too, yes, too hot to play. Sentence number 14. The publisher told the writer that the space for his new book was next April. The publisher told the writer that the space for his new book was next April. A. Deadline, B. Debt, C. Line, D. End. Deadline. لسه حلينا في الامتحان من شوية، قلنا بمعنى الميعاد
بعد النهائي.
النهائي. تمام. 15. The phone is space for her to buy. She doesn't have enough money. The phone is space for her to buy. She doesn't have enough money. Choices: A. Expensive enough. B. Too expensive. C. So expensive. D. Such an expensive.
Too expensive.
Too expensive. Yes, too expensive for her to buy. غالي جدا عليها لدرجة انها ما تقدرش تشتري. يبقى too تدي معنى النيجاتيف. تمام. 16. It's usual for people to suffer from space when they have an important job. A. Stressful. B. Distressed. C. Stress. D. Stressed. Stress. Yes, بمعنى التوتر. تمام. 17. The question was space difficult that nobody could answer it. Choices: A. So. B. Such. C. Enough. D. Too. So difficult that nobody could answer it. 18. Using the computer for a long time. Space. Hannah headaches. A. Takes. B. Gives. C. Does. D. Makes. Gives Hannah headaches. 19. My sister is space to go to school. She is only 2. So old. Too old. Not old enough. Such old.
Not old enough.
Not old enough. Yes, my sister is not old enough to go to school. She is only 2. Number 20. This book has some useful space on how best to revise. A. Tops. B. Tabs. C. Tapes. D. Tips. Tips معنى هنا نصائح. تمام. 21. Hamdi wants to study space, English or history at university. He is not sure. A. Either. B. Both. C. Neither. D. Half. Either. Either English or history. 22. We usually take a 30 space break at school. A. Minutes. B. Minute. C. Minutes plus apostrophe. D. Minutes M-I-N-U-T-E apostrophe S. Minute. Letter B. 30 minute break. التركيب هنا adjective والadjective لا تجمع. تمام. 30 minute break. راحة لمدة 30 دقيقة. 23. My mother gave space child at the party a small present. A. All. B. Each. C. Either. D. Both. Each, yes, each child. 24. Don't drink too much coffee or it will keep you space at night. A. Wake. B. Woken. C. Asleep. D. Awake. Yes. 25. Our school is space kilometer from my house. A. Half of. B. Half a. C. Half of a. D. Half. Half a kilometer. Yes. 26. Khalid wants to be a space so that he can help his country. A. Political. B. Politics. C. Politician. D. Population. Politician. 27. The shop space I visited last week has some great souvenirs. Souvenirs بمعنى هدايا تذكارية. A. When. B. Where. C. Who. D. Which. Which, yes. The shop which I visited last week. 28. The palace is very space. It has more than 30 rooms. A. Impressed. B. Impressive. C. Improved. D. Industrial. Impressive. Yes, the palace is very impressive.
طب يا مستر impressed معناها ايه؟
Impressed متأثر. يعني لما يكون الصفة عايدة على الشخص مش الشيء. احنا عارفين ان معظم الادجectives most adjectives end in ed refer to persons. الصفات المنتهية ب ed بتعود على الاشخاص. تمام؟ I am tired, interested, exhausted. تمام؟ and so on. But adjectives end in ing refer to things, situations. الصفات المنتهية ب ing بتعود على المواقف والاشياء والاحداث. تمام؟ أقول what a tiring day. يا يوم متعب. I am tired. يبقى الصفة المنتهية ب دي بتعود على الأشخاص. الصفة المنتهية ب ing بتعود على المواقف والأشياء والأحداث. تمام؟ في بعض الصفات بتبقى شاذة شوية. أما كلمة impressed عايدة على الشخص. أما ما أقولش impressing للأشياء بقى أقول impressive. فهنا the palace is very impressive اللي هي B. تمام؟ 29. I could not decide space to wear to the wedding party. A. Which. B. What. C. That. D. Who.
What.
I couldn't decide what to wear. Yes. The last sentence. 30. Dr. Amani would like to take space more work at the hospital, but she doesn't have time. A. On. B. Up. C. Over. D. N.
On.
Yes, take on. Let's go to the novel questions. Choose the correct answer. Why did Colonel Sapt and Fritz von Trallenheim not eat much on the evening they had dinner at the hunting lodge? Why did Colonel Sapt and Fritz von Trallenheim not eat much on the evening that they had dinner at the hunting lodge? A. They knew the food was poisoned. B. They were not hungry. C. They were very ill. D. They didn't want to eat much before the important coronation.
They didn't want to eat much before the important coronation.
Yes, you are right. D is the best answer. They didn't want to eat much before the important coronation. Question 2. Why did the poor people in the capital want Duke Michael to become king? They wanted things to change. B. They wanted things to stay the same. C. They thought he was a lazy man. D. They wanted a war with the king.
They wanted things to change.
Yes, they wanted things to change. So the poor wanted Duke Michael to become the king, as he promised them that their living conditions would change to better. Sentence number 3, or question 3. The king has to return to the palace in the dark because space. A. They don't want people to know that he was ill. They don't want people to know that he was ill. B. He is not wearing the king's clothes. C. The poor people would attack him if they saw him. D. He is frightened of the Duke.
He is frightened of the Duke.
The king has to return to the palace in the dark because
هتبقى number A.
A is the correct answer. Yes.
طب ليه مش D؟
They don't want people to know that he was ill. هما مش عايزين الناس تعرف ان هو كان مريض. مش كان هينفع يتوج في ذلك ليه الليلة. تمام؟ Number 4. Rudolph has to leave the country before it's light so that Rudolph has to leave the country before it's light so that A. The Duke can become king. Nobody knows that he pretended to be the king. Or C. He can write a story about what happened. Or D. People don't think that he poisoned the king. Nobody knows that he pretended to be the king. Yes. Answer 2 of the following questions. Why do you think Duke Michael tried to get rid of his brother by poisoning him instead of any other way? Why do you think, ليه في رأيك Duke Michael tried to get rid of يعني يتخلص من of his brother by poisoning him instead of يعني بدلا من any other way؟ يعني ليه كان اختار طريقة التسميم أو التسمم ديت لأخيه بدل من الطرق الأخرى؟
I think because he didn't want him to be crowned only and not to kill him. يعني هو كان عايز يعطله لكن مش يموته يعني.
كان عايز ايه؟
يعني ما يروحش الكورونيشن في الميعاد المناسب مش ان هو يقتله. صح؟
As you like, as you think. He didn't want to kill him.
And didn't want him to be crowned.
He only didn't want him to take the crown. Yes. ما كانش عايزه بس فقط ياخذ الايه؟ التاج. In my opinion, في رأيي أنا الشخصي يا يمنى, it would be difficult to prove that he was responsible for the poisoning. يعني ممكن إنه كان من الصعب إن حد يثبت إن الديوك مايكل هو كان مسؤول عن تسمم أخيه. تمام؟ يعني هو ممكن كان يقع. Perhaps he wanted to kill him. ربما كان عايز يقتله. But he didn't want to be suspected. بس ما كانش عايز إن هو إيه يشك فيه or to be discovered. تمام؟ So it would be difficult to prove that he was responsible for the poisoning. تمام؟ If you were Razandal, would you agree to risk your life and replace the king? And why? If you were Razandal, لو أنت Razandal, توافق إن أنت risk your life تخاطر بحياتك to replace the king أو تحل محل الملك؟
ممكن أقول yes, I would agree because he was a king and all people should save him.
Yes, I agree because, again please, the last sentence.
He was the king and all people should save him.
And all people should?
Save him.
Should save him. Yes. Because, yes. Because I would like to save Ruritania and to save the king as Razandal himself did. بالفعل كما فعل ايه؟ Razandal. تمام؟ Yes, because the future of the country depended on this. لأن مستقبل البلاد يعتمد على هذا. إن هو يحل محل أو أي شخص يحل محل الملك. تمام؟ Question 3. Why do you think that Rudolph really believed that he was the king in the capital city? Why do you think that Rudolph really believed that he was the king in the capital city?
Because he felt confident and he smiled when he cheered away all people.
Yes, he started to believe it because everyone acted as though he was the king. Yes. They smiled and threw flowers on him. Let's move to the dialogue. Warda is telling Samia about some work. Warda, I have been asked to write an article for a website. Sentence 1, space. What is it about? It's about recycling. ممكن كنا نحط ايه في space 1 يومنا مثلا؟ That's great. Yes, that's great. What is it about? It's about recycling. Space 2. I chose recycling because I think it's an important subject. I chose recycling because I think it's an important subject.
ممكن نقول why do you choose it؟
Why did you choose
هي
it؟
choose هنا ماضي ولا
choose ده الباست. احنا هنستخدم بقى ليه؟ بنستخدم الفعل المساعد did ونرجع بالفعل الانفينيتيف.
تمام.
Why did you choose recycling؟ تمام. CHOOSE. تمام. choose chose chosen. تمام. I chose recycling because I think it's an important subject. What's going to be in the article? What is going to be in the article? Well, it's a bit difficult to explain. Well, it's a bit difficult to explain. Space 3. Yes, to summarize, the article is going to be about how people can recycle more.
ممكن نقول can you summarize it؟
Yes, can you summarize it? That's the best answer. Can you summarize it? Space 4. Then Warda says, for 2 reasons. Firstly, I sent them the idea for the article last week and they liked it. Then space 5. Then Samia says, when did you write for them before?
ممكن هنا المفروض هتبقى
Let's go to sentence 4 again. For 2 reasons.
ممكن why do you choose it برضه؟
Why did you choose it? Why did you choose it؟ هتكرري نفس الايه؟
أنا حسيت
السؤال تاني ممكن. Or can you tell me why they asked you to write it? Can you tell me why they asked you to write it? For 2 reasons. Firstly, I sent them the idea for the article last week and they liked it. Then space 5. هنقول فيه secondly. نرجع لكلام سامية تحت بتقول لها when did you write for them before؟ يبقى كده في 5 secondly هتقول لها because I have written for them before. لأن تحت بتقول لها when did you write for them before؟
صح.
امتى بقى امتى انت كتبت لهم قبل كده؟ يبقى اكيد كانت secondly because I have written for them before. تمام؟
بس هو احنا ليه قلنا have written ما قلناش wrote؟
ممكن تستخدمي wrote عادي. برضو صح. تمام؟
تمام.
When did you write for them before؟ قالت لها I wrote an article last year. 6 space 6. Then, well, I am looking forward to reading it. So space 6 is
ممكن مثلا I will read you هقوله لك أو I will مثلا had it to read.
I will read it to you. تمام ممكن. ممكن تقولي نفس الجملة اللي تحت. ممكن ناخد من الجمل اللي تحت يوم. I'm really looking forward to writing it. تمام؟ I'm really looking forward to writing it. تمام؟ Let's go to the translation question. Sentence number 1. Translate into Arabic. Egyptian women have always played a vital role in development projects.
ممكن نقول لقد لعبت المرأة المصرية دورا حيويا في
و always ممكن نحطها برضو في الجملة دائما.
دائما صح.
ما لعبت المرأة أو النساء المصريات دورا حيويا
في مشاريع التطوير.
تمام في مشاريع أو مشروعات التطوير. Sentence 2. It's important for people to separate their work from their home life.
ممكن نقول إنها من المهم للأشخاص أن يفصلوا عملهم عن حياتهم الخاصة.
تمام. It's important for people to separate their work from their home life. من المهم أن يفصل الناس بين عملهم وبين حياتهم الخاصة. تمام. Translate one sentence only into English. لحسن الحظ كانت المشكلة سهلة جدا على أخي ليحلها. لحسن الحظ ممكن نقول ايه؟ Fortunately, yes. The problem was so easy.
For my brother.
Yes. To. ماشي. That he
can solve it.
أنت قلتي was مش كده؟ قولي that he could solve it. That he could solve it. تمام؟
عشان هي was.
عشان الباست. لو قلتي is هتقولي that yes he can solve it. سوف تتمتع المدارس بجميع الوسائل التعليمية والتكنولوجية الحديثة. سوف تتمتع المدارس
طب هي تتمتع ينفع enjoy؟
ينفع. schools will enjoy
with all
لا enjoy بقى يا أمنا ما تاخدش preposition. مفيش with. enjoy isn't followed by a preposition. هي في حد ذاتها يتمتع به وبدون حرف جر. تمام؟ schools will enjoy واقول كذا على طول، اجيب الاوبجكت على طول.
هتبقى مثلا all educational
all modern هنجيب الصفة اللي هي الحديثة الأول. all modern educational and technological الوسائل نقول ايه بقى؟ methods. yes methods or media.
كنت أقول اللي هي modern technology and educational methods
and
التكنولوجيا الحديثة لوحدها.
ممكن انت خدتي هنا الوسائل التعليمية لوحدها والتكنولوجيا هي اللي موصوفة بالحديثة فقط. ممكن برضه يعني. تمام.
هنقول all ولا مش
هتقولي عادي ممكن تستخدميها عادي. all هتقولي educational methods and modern technology. تمام. بس هنا الأفضل إن الحديثة تعود على الكلمتين يعني. let's go to practice test 2B. نكمل جزء كده. أيوة لسه في بعض الوقت. The explorer معايا كده؟
لا أنا مش معايا.
choose the correct answer. طب خليكي معايا كده orally كده يا منى. The explorer didn't go with anyone else to Antarctica. He went space choices: A slightly, B solo, C special, D lonely. Solo, yes. Sentence number 2. Space, the rice that you need is in the cupboard. A all, B both, C either, D each. All the rice, yes. Number 3. In most countries, you need a or an space to drive a car. A letter, B degree, C license, D qualification. license معنى الرخصة. تمام. Number 4. Najwa is enjoying her new job because space day of the week is different. A both, B all, C every, D either. Every day of the week is different. Yes. 5. I told my little brother to read this book because it is a space for young children. A suitable, B employable, C reliable, D impossible. Suitable, yes. Sentence number 6. Grandmother says that my brothers and I can space take a cake from the kitchen. A each, B every, C both, D either. Each. My brother and I can each take a cake from the kitchen. My brothers and I هنا كل واحد فينا يعني مش عايد على شخصين هنا. my brothers جمع and I. تمام. can each كل واحد فينا. Number 7. My cousin wants to have a space in law. A. Mark. B. Work. C. Degree. D. License. Degree, yes, in law. Number 8. There are 2 restaurants by the park and they are space very good. A. All. B. Either. C. Each. D. Both. Both لأن هنا ذكر 2 restaurants. 9. To find the bank, walk space this road and it is on the right. A. Alive. B. Ashore. D. Along. C. Along. D. Around. Yes.
ايوه
walk along.
يومنا معانا اتفضلي.
تمام. 10. By this time tomorrow my father space to England. By this time tomorrow my father space to England. Will fly. B. Would fly. C. Will have flown. D. Flies. Will have flown. The future perfect. عشان will plus يتكون will plus have plus past participle عشان كلمة by plus a period of time. 11. Ashraf is a good student. He never space the rules. Choices. A. Becomes. B. Blocks. C. Follows. D. Breaks the rules.
نكتفي يومنا. شكرا على اتصالك. أبنائي وأعزائي الطلبة والطالبات، إلى هنا وصلنا إلى ختام هذه الفترة المفتوحة أستاذ على الهواء. باسمكم أتوجه بخالص الشكر إلى ضيفي الأستاذ محمد عفوا أستاذ أحمد عبد الصبور خبير اللغة الإنجليزية. شكرا يا دكتور أحمد. كل الشكر مهندس الصوت محمد جمال الدين، ولكم تحياتي جمال حسن.